I was one of those kids that, in kindergarten was so into Star Trek it was not even, funny.
I was reading science fiction novels in the high school library when I should have been doing homework.
As soon as I discovered science fiction fandom and the Society for Creative Anachronisms, I said, oh, these are my people. This is my tribe.
I'm Eric Hildeman. I started the Milwaukee Science Fiction and Fantasy League in 2021. It began as a Facebook group only, and it grew from there to include a podcast on Star Wars Day, May the 4th, 2021. And since then, I've started holding regular meetings.
We are an effort to reboot traditional, at least a bit of traditional science fiction fandom, but with a eager openness to what used to be referred to as fringes, whether it be gamers or makers or fandoms of the various films and television franchises and so forth.
I've always been a science fiction nut, and I do write some sci-fi, and I do kind of hope that at some point I can, maybe as a retirement career, be a full-time writer. But all of that is kind of ancillary to just me wanting to see more science fiction in Milwaukee. I see what other cities have, and Milwaukee kind of lacks it. And I kind of hope to change that a little bit.
There were two separate people who both thought they were signing up vendors.
Oh,
And
no.
when the day came,
They were double booked.
Yeah.
they had people spilling out into the hallways.
Oh.
The dealer's room had like a 2-foot walkway between the tables. So if anybody
Yeah.
stopped and looked at anything, the whole room stopped. It was a frickin' disaster.
Oh boy. When I saw that WisCon was going to be taking a year off for 2024, I realized that a dream to get a new convention started, maybe by 2026, would probably have to be escalated a little bit. So the Milwaukee Falcon is kind of something that grew out of that.
I am a new member of the Science Fiction League. I have been going to conventions including WisCon in Madison for many years. I was just an attendee in those days, and so I didn't really know exactly what all the politics and stuff was, but as I've gotten older and participated in art groups and dance events and WisCon and steampunk, it's clear that you need to actually participate. If people don't step up to be a part of it, then it's not going to happen.
Being that kind of a nerd is no longer something that really gets looked down on and prejudiced against, whatever, the way it was back in the 70s and 80s. If Big Bang Theory had come out in 1978, it would have been an absolute and total flop. With the advent of technology, I mean, who's more valuable? The guy who can throw a pass on the football team in high school, or the guy that can make your iPhone work?
I would like there to be a science fiction convention in Milwaukee again.
This city is just chock full of talent, and we're not really capitalizing on it.
I was married at a science fiction convention 42 years ago. I woke up next to her this morning.